So one of the first signs that I talked about was that change in personality. And it could be something as small as, the person who gets their $6 worth of food at lunch and dinner. We all know who they are. All of a sudden they pull up and they got a small plate of food and they're just eating a little bit. And you're kind of looking like, what's going on there? That's not like you, because we all have routines. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you're at, dispatch center, police car, an ambulance, firehouse, at the corrections facility. Everybody's got a routine. You get to know everybody's routine.
You can't hide your tells.
You can't hide your tells. You know what I mean? So like, if you normally do something every day and I notice that you're not doing that, that's a change in your personality. That, for me now, triggers me to go talk to that person. One of the biggest things that you're looking for next, they're going to not be as social as they normally are. It's almost that self-isolation. You'll notice that they're tired all the time at work because they're not sleeping, but then they go and try to sleep all day. So it's that isolation from the rest of the population, the antisocial. Some people have different personality changes. Some will get a lot of anger issues with it. You'll notice they're a little more depressed. You'll notice that they start talking more about them not being here, but they, in a joking way, like, if I got to go on another run, I'm going to shoot myself, and that's not their personality.
And they do the whole thing like you guys care.
Yeah.
Like you would care if I wasn't.
Exactly. Right? And when I say this, it's not everybody. Not everybody's good. There's some people that will not show a single sign and then complete. But there are those certain things that you can look at and key you in on, okay, maybe something's going on. They've been isolating at the station. They're not themselves. You see a personality change. Backtrack it even further. They told you 3 months ago they were going through a real nasty divorce with child custody issues. So if I put the child custody issues together with the change in personality, and then I add in the isolation, now that I put those puzzle pieces together, and after this conversation, the picture's a lot clearer where this is heading.
Right.
But each individual piece doesn't look like anything that's remotely dangerous. We're heading down that road. And that's why we like to talk about these things. Is it's not necessarily that one or two things that you're going to see. It's putting all those puzzle pieces together.
You're going to see a trend.
You're going to see a trend.
I want to be clear that we are saying to people that there's going to be times that none of these things happen. There won't be any signs for you to prevent or even to step in to prevent. So what is some of the things that in terms of prevention that we really like to focus on is normalizing talking about the hard parts. People often say, I don't want to bring up suicide, or I don't want to talk about somebody hurting themselves, because what if that puts the idea into someone's head? You're not putting the idea into someone's head. You're helping someone say that it's okay to talk about the hard things. It's okay to talk about the thing that no one else is talking about.
How we approach it, or how I approach it, is just how we approach the small conversations. Hey, Jeff, I'm kind of seeing a couple of these things here, man. Something's going on, man. And inevitably they'll give you the, nah, I'm all right. And at some point I look at them, I'm like, I know you're not all right. It's okay to talk about it. I'm seeing this. This isn't like you. I know you got this going on. It's okay to talk about it. It's one of those things. And eventually you have to ask them that hard question. And it's not,
What's the question?
The question is, do you want to commit suicide? And say it that bluntly. It's not, are you thinking of harming yourself? It's not anything where we sugarcoat it. You go directly at it. If you're at that portion of your suicide journey, you think no one gives a shit about you. If I talk to you for a couple minutes and I say, hey man, I've noticed this, this is really concerning me. I really care about how you're feeling. And I do. Wow, somebody actually gives a shit about me. I'm not just coming at you with, do you want to kill yourself? Right. I want to let you know I'm invested in you, because I am. I'm invested that you're here tomorrow. more than once in my life, I found out way after the fact that a conversation that I thought was a nothing conversation turned out to be the conversation that saved somebody, and I didn't find out till years later. Whenever the opportunity arises, have the conversation, because to you it might be a small conversation. What you don't know is that conversation might be the world to somebody else.